Hello and welcome to Math 78. We're talking about chapter 6.1 ratios. So we have ratios every day in life that we think about. We think about like dollars per hour or miles per gallon. We're going to be talking about these today. Okay, so we're talking about ratios. So when I see something like number 1, I say 8 days to 9 days. So 8 is going to be my numerator and 9 is going to be my denominator. And then I ask myself, can I simplify? Because I need to have it lowest terms. I cannot. That's all I need to do. And in section 1A, I'm only going to do half of these, so you can practice some of these on your own. Let's look at number 3, $100 to $50. 100 is my numerator, 50 is my denominator, and then I ask myself, can I reduce this 100 over 50? That's also just 2. If you put it in your calculator, 2 is my final answer right there. And then I'm going to do number 6. 35 cents to 7 cents. 35 over 7. Can I reduce that? They both have a 7 in them. I can divide both numerator and denominator by 7, or you can put it in your calculator and I get 5 over 1, or just 5. That is my ratio. So sometimes I end up with a fraction like number 1. Sometimes I end up with a whole number like 3 and 6. Either one's okay. Okay, I got another ratio. 4.5 is my numerator. And I got the 0 on there. I don't really need it, but I've got it in 3.5. Okay, I want to simplify and put this in lowest term. I'm very uncomfortable right now because I've got decimals in my fractions, which I hate, so I want to get rid of that. I'm going to multiply both my numerator and denominator by 10 because my biggest number here in my decimals is tenths, so I want to get rid of that. 4.5 times 10 gives me 45. Technically it's 0.0, I don't really need that. And then 3.5 times 10 is 35. Now I can reduce. Now I ask myself, what do they have in common? They both have a 5, so I'm going to divide both by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 9/7. That is my ratio in lowest terms. Let's look at number 8. Number 8, I've got 8 cents to 6 cents. So what I'm going to do here is my numerator is 8 cents and my denominator is 6 cents. 0.08 over 0.06. And now I've got 100s in the numerator and denominator, and I desperately want to get rid of those because nothing makes me more uncomfortable than decimals in my fractions. So now I'm going to multiply the numerator by 100 and my denominator by 100, and I get, when I put this in my calculator, 0.08 times 100 gives me 8 over 6. And then I want to reduce. I notice they're both even, so I'm going to divide both by 2, and I get 4 over 3. Awesome, okay? Very doable. Now let's talk about number 9 and 10. These are going to be less happy when you do these, but they're still very doable. Okay, I have 1 1/4 to 1 1/2, which is 1 1/4 over 1 1/2. Well, that's really yucky, really, really yucky. I can't compare those. They're not the same. What I need to do before I can compare these is make them into mixed fraction, make them from mixed fractions into an improper fraction. So I need to convert this out of this format, okay? So I'm going to erase so I can have a little bit more space. Okay, I want to make 1 1/4 into a improper fraction all over fourths. So I get 4 times 1, 4, plus 1 gives me 5/4. And that's this first fraction right here. And then my second fraction, 1 1/2. I want to convert that I want to make it all over half, so 2 times 1, 2, plus 1 gives me 3 halves, okay? So this is my new ratio, okay? These two numbers. So my numerator, I've got 5/4 all divided by 3 halves. Now, fraction divided by a fraction typically makes us feel uncomfortable. It's another thing most of us do not like working with, okay? We are going to deal with that. Don't worry. Remember when I think about dividing, or when I think of fraction, it means division. So I'm going to change this big fraction into division, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this as 5/4 divided by 3 halves. Now this is a problem that we're really good at because we are very good at dividing fractions, okay? So I'm going to change my sign from division to multiplication. So remember to do that. I stay calm in public when I see those fractions. 5/4. I change my sign, and then I freak out privately in my car. And then I go ahead and multiply and simplify. 5 times 2 is 10 over 4 times 3, 12. And then I'm going to reduce. They're both even, so I'm going to divide both by 2, divide both by 2, and I get 5/6. Easy peasy, okay? Now let's look at my second one. 2 1/3 and 1/3. 2 1/3 to 2 2/3. Now again, this is really yucky one. I don't want to just go straight for it. I want to convert them first into from mixed fractions into improper fractions. So I've got my first one, 2 1/3, and I want to convert that into all thirds. So I get 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1 equals 7/3. Okay? And then my second one, 2 2/3. I want to convert into mixed fractions, all over 3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 gives me 8/3. That's my second fraction, okay? Then over here, I put this in, and I've got 7/3 to 8/3. Okay, so all I did was, instead of doing my ratio, I converted to my mixed fractions to improper fractions, and then I'm going to rewrite this out, and I'm going to write it as a division statement instead of a big fraction. I've got 7/3 divided by 8/3. We got this from here. We're going to switch it from division to multiplication. So I keep my first fraction, 7/3. I change my sign from division to multiplication. And then when I do that, I have to flip my second fraction, so I get 3/8. Now you can multiply out and cancel, or you can do the cross multiplication method and cancel. I'm going to do cross, see where I can cancel. I've got my 3's cancel, and therefore I am left with 7/8. Awesome. Okay. Number C, it says, it's number 11, convert 4 feet into 30 inches. No, well, first we do have to do that, but it says 4 feet to 30 inches. We want to make them both into inches, so we have to convert feet to inches. So I'm going to figure out how many inches are in a foot. 12 inches are in each foot, so I'm going to multiply my feet, 4 times 12, so that gives me 48 inches. So instead of my 4 feet, I'm going to say 48 inches. So then my ratio becomes 48 over 30. And then I'm going to simplify from here. I notice that they have a 6 in common for both of them as a factor. If you didn't notice it and you did it in 2 steps, that's always okay. 48 divided by 6 is 8, and 30 divided by 6 is 5, and I'm fully reduced right here. I can't reduce anymore. Okay, we have 8 feet to 4 yards for number 12. So I'd like to compare those. I'm not in the same terms. It says I need to convert this yards into feet. So it says 4 feet, there are 3 yards per foot. So 4 yards, 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to replace this 4 yards with 12 feet. And then I can set up my ratio. I've got 8 feet to 12 feet. And now I can reduce. They both have a 4 in common. 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. My ratio is 2/3. Great. Okay. 13, very similar. I got to convert. I want to compare them. I'm going to convert hours into minutes. How many minutes are in an hour? I've got 60 minutes. So I do my conversion, and then I can compare 5 over 60. I want to reduce. They both have a 5 in common. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 60 divided by 5 is 12. 1/12. And we're going to skip number 14 because I didn't provide the conversion for pints. But you can do it on your own if you want. Okay, let's do one of the word problems together, and then the other ones you can do on your own. Number 15, an auto mechanic used to pay $10 for 5 quarts of oil for an oil change. The price has increased to $12.50. Find the ratio of increase in price to the original price. Okay, the increase in price is going to be my new price minus my old. And it's already set up for us. $12.50 minus 10. $12.50 minus 10, that gives me $2.50. And that's my increase. And then it says find the ratio of increased price to old. So increase to old. So we said my increase was 2.50 and my old was 10. Now again, I've got decimals in my fraction, right? I don't like that. So I've got tenths, so I want to get rid of tenths. So I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by 10. 2.5 times 10 is 25. All over 10 times 10 is 100. And then I need to simplify from there. I'm going to go down here because I'm 25 over 100. Can I simplify that? Yes. I could take out a 5 first, or I could take out 25. I'm going to go with 25. $25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4 1/4. Okay? I'm going to let you try number 16 on your own, and that is 6.1.